Today we're making fluffy stovetop popcorn. I think popcorn is one of the most magical transformations in the food world. Just imagine, in a few minutes, these humble little kernels are going to turn into a big bowl of fluffy white popcorn. Now, this is a really simple recipe, but because we're working close to a burner with hot oil and flying little kernel projectiles, this task must be completed by a responsible adult. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is start with some oil in my pot. And you can see I'm using the biggest, heaviest pot possible. If you use a really thin pot, you're gonna up your chances of scorching your popcorn. So I have a really heavy bottom pot. I'm gonna put about 1.5 tablespoons each of canola oil and olive oil. I like the flavor of the olive oil, and I like that the canola oil can stand up to higher heat. So that's why I'm doing a combination, but you could use one or the other. And basically I want enough oil to really coat the bottom of the pan here. Now I'm gonna turn up the heat to medium-high, and I'm gonna put in 3 popcorn kernels. I'm doing that because this is gonna tell me when my oil's hot enough to add the rest of the kernels. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for that to heat up, I'm gonna melt my butter in a little pan. I'm just gonna put this over low heat. Now we wait. Once the butter's melted, I'm gonna turn off the heat and just set it aside. Okay. When the first kernel pops, that means it's time to add the rest of the kernels. Now I'm gonna grab my cover and put it just slightly offset like this so that the steam can escape as the kernels pop. Now I'm gonna put on my oven mitts and start shaking. This helps cook the popcorn evenly and prevents scorching. And I'm gonna be doing this shaking throughout the remainder of the cooking process. So I still have it going over medium-high heat, and once my popcorn starts popping rapidly, I'm gonna reduce my heat to about medium. What I'm looking for is a popping environment that's hot enough for the kernels to pop rapidly, but isn't so hot that it scorches my popcorn. Now that my popcorn's popping quite a bit, I'm just reducing the heat to medium. And I'm gonna keep on shaking. Popcorn's a recipe where you really use your senses, especially your ears and your sense of smell. What I'm looking for is rapid popping, which I can hear is happening now. And I want to make sure that what I'm smelling is a pleasant, toasty smell and not scorched or burnt. I'm going to moderate my heat throughout the cooking process to try and enable those things to happen. So if it starts to smell a little bit like burnt toast, turn down your heat. As you can see, there's quite a bit of steam escaping, and that's good that it's getting out of there, because if I just let all that steam hang out inside of my popcorn, it would produce popcorn that's a little bit chewy. So what we want to do is listen, and once the interval between pops is about 4 seconds, that means that our popcorn is ready. And I'm not hearing any more popping. So let's turn off the heat, and we'll transfer it right away to a big bowl. So now, right away, I'm gonna hit this with some salt, and I'm gonna bring over my butter and drizzle that on top. I use about 2 to 4 tablespoons, depending on how conservative you want to be with the fat. And now you can stir this. You can sort of use your hands or a little spatula. Now you gotta taste test it. And I like to grab for a kernel towards the bottom of the bowl, since that's where the seasoning tends to drift. Perfect. For something else, mix up the seasonings that you put on your popcorn. You can do nutritional yeast. I really like dried basil, a little garlic salt, a little Parmesan cheese. And one of my favorites for a special treat is drizzling flavor-infused olive oil on top. This is black truffle, easier than melting butter on the stove and super tasty.